Even though we as UX designers are most of the time working in the digital industry, we should also know how we can create new hardware solutions and must be able to develop some prototypes. Therefore, electronics are an essential part of our job too. Let's find out more about that in today's episode. I'm your host Chris, and this is the UX Globus podcast. So let's begin with the different principal components we need for our electronic devices. First, we need a power source, so our concept has enough electricity to function correctly. The kind of power source can be completely different. It can be a plug for a wall socket or a USB adapter for a laptop, or a battery inside your product. In the end, this is the most critical part of our solution. It can significantly increase or decrease the user experience. What if your solution has no chargeable battery and you always need a power socket somewhere around you? That is not very pleasant. On the other hand, if the solution has a battery that does not last very long, it is not satisfying too. Another component of electric circuits are consumers. It can be something straightforward like an LED or a small speaker, but also a smartphone display is a consumer, and those can increase the usability significantly. Let's imagine a smartphone without a screen that would not be usable in the same way, but also the quality of the output consumers have an impact on the user experience. A higher resolution of a display, for example, can increase the UX as elements can be perceived easier. And here I would like to introduce one more component type for hardware solutions: buttons, switches and similar elements. Both have a very high usability in general, as they are a widespread component of older solutions too. But one question that comes to my mind is, why do we need to be able to work with all that hardware? That can be answered quite quickly. Whenever we create a product, it is necessary to develop some prototypes first. Those can have a very low fidelity and are not made to last long, just for some user tests. Those electronic components often are steered by a mini computer like a Raspberry Pi or an Arduino board, and this is where our coding skills are required again. But coding is not for today's episode. Instead, I would like to introduce one last component called resistors. Those reduce the power that a consumer gets. If your mini computer has 5 volts as an output, but your lamp can only handle 1 volt, you need to find the matching resistor to add it between the power output of your mini computer and the light, and probably nothing can go wrong. Except you are as untalented like I am with electronics, and will ruin one mini computer after another. And with that, I would like to end today's episode. Don't forget to join the UX Globus community on Facebook, and remember to always keep pushing. Have a good one.